Alright, let's start up the second half of the 70s with the story of Chinese gods. This is the first ever animated movie from Taiwan. It's basically based on Chinese folklore. There's all these famous Chinese gods, I guess, and the story is there's this evil king who's, he's a tyrant. All that good stuff. And somewhere along the line, all these gods get mixed up in this war against him. Well, I guess the character who's responsible for starting the war against him is a god himself. I guess the movie is mainly focused on this guy from heaven who comes down to Earth, and he starts fighting against the king's forces and stuff, and there's pretty soon the king gets this you know or there's this rival god who you know gets these other demons mixed up, or he gets them involved, and so um and that's pretty much all there really is to the story. So let's see. And if, I can't say I'm an expert with Chinese folklore, but there is gonna be. So I just watched a review of this movie by someone named Brandon Tenold, or I don't know how you pronounce his name, but he reviewed the movie, and he said it's basically one big acid trip, and he makes a bunch of drug references, and he talks about how weird it is. Yeah, that's adorable. I clearly this guy has not seen Down and Dirty Duck or The Bath, or yeah, I've seen some weird movies by now, and they blow this one like right out of the water. Don't get me wrong, this is a pretty weird movie, and there is some weird moments. Um, I guess let's see what scenes stuck out to me the most. Well, near the very beginning, when you're wondering if maybe this movie might be family friendly, it then cuts right to this demon lady with a frying pan for a head or something eating somebody's arm. So, yeah, it just cuts right to that. It's out of nowhere, and it can definitely catch some people off guard if they think what they're watching is something that the kiddies can enjoy. Um, let's see. Uh, the evil king makes this servant of his cut out his own heart, and give it to him on a dish, and then the guy just walks away, and yeah, he's still alive after that. Um, and what else? Um, apparently the toughest character in this movie is a Bruce Lee XP. I think that's what they call them. Um, it's considered a Bruce exploitation movie to a degree, and the Bruce Lee character doesn't come in until near the very end of the movie, but he takes out most of the, pretty much all of the main villains. Pretty much. There's this general that somebody else takes out, but aside from him, the Bruce Lee character, Bruce Lee God, takes out these, demon kings. Then he takes out the rival god I brought up earlier, and then he he takes out the queen of the kingdom, who turns out to be a nine-tailed fox demon. And then he even takes out the evil king, who, yeah, it's like a drawn-out fight scene, and I'm like, why is Bruce Lee God even giving this character the time of day? He's like a, I don't care what kind of martial arts abilities he has. He's like taking on a freaking god, like this old mortal man. Yeah, whatever. And yeah, there's some little weird imagery here and there. Uh, and well, I guess the second most awesome character in the movie is this little naked kid who goes around in nothing but an apron. He's got his hair tied up like Chun-Li. He looks like a girl, but I'm pretty sure he's a boy because yeah, he's supposed to be. I think his name is Neza, whatever. I think he's the same character from. You see, there's this character in that. Yeah, that Monkey King movie that I reviewed a while back. Yeah, there was this child god who took on Sun Wukong, and yeah, I think he's supposed to be Neza, and yeah, I think this naked kid is the same character, and I guess that's the look he's associated with, because yeah, whatever, um, yeah, just some naked kid going around beating up gods. Anyway, so, is there anything else? I mean, uh, it is weird, but I've seen weirder by now. And at the end of the day, I was pretty entertained by this. This is by no means like a great movie. Um, yeah, it's pretty low quality. The animation is cheap. Um, I did watch the English dub, and the voice acting isn't very good either. Although I think the version that Brandon reviewed was like, I guess it looks even weirder when you slow it down by like 10%, maybe not 10%, but like five, or I don't know, 5 to 10%. So yeah, the characters are talking slower, but yeah, I watched the movie in normal speed, so it wasn't nearly as weird. Oh yeah, there's also this one character who appears near the beginning of the movie, and you think he's going to be the main character, but then during this battle, he gets killed by a demon, and I didn't even realize he got killed. Like, when I first watched the movie, I thought he just got, knocked out or something. Um, and they do mention that he died, but, like, I didn't recognize his name, so, like, I didn't know who they were talking about. So, yeah, it didn't exactly occur to me that that character died, but, yeah, I guess it makes sense why he doesn't appear for the rest of the movie. This character who we thought was going to be like the hero. Um, but yeah, I guess Bruce Lee God is the hero by the end, and oh yeah, and so there's during Bruce Lee God's battle with the rival God character. And by the way, I know Bruce Lee God is obviously based on, an actual Chinese god, but, they clearly made him to look and act like Bruce Lee. So yeah, there's a scene where Bruce Lee God and the other guy, they're shape-shifting into all these creatures, and, at one point, Bruce Lee God as a cat or, let's see how it goes. So first, the bad guy turns into a bird. Bruce Lee turns into a vulture, I think. And then, yeah, the bad guy turns into a giant lion, and then Bruce Lee turns into an elephant. Bad guy turns into a mouse to scare the elephant, and then Lee turns into a cat to chase the mouse around. And I was telling myself, wow, this is like a poor man's version of the wizard's duel from Sword in the Stone, and then the bad guy changed into like a three-headed version of what was clearly Madam Mim as a dragon. It's like, yeah, it's it's ripped straight from Madam Mim. It's Madam Mim dragon if she had like three heads and like several eyes or something, like a mutated version of Madam Mim dragon. It's got the same look and everything, so yeah, that's not very subtle ripping of you know of a character and a scene in general. So yeah. Anyway, finally Bruce Lee turns into another dragon and he takes out Madam Mim knockoff dragon. So weird, but yeah. Again, I've seen weirder. And yeah, for what this movie is, I was entertained. Um, I mean, no doubt there's better martial arts movies out there, better Bruce Lee movies, obviously, but I don't know, it's still fun watching all these crazy characters going up against each other, and, the action isn't that great. It's, like, very slow, and, but I don't know, it's not the worst I've seen. It's not the worst animation. It's not the worst voice acting. I've seen worse, and I've seen weirder. So, yeah, so what would I rate this movie? I mean, I'd probably say 6 out of 10 is a good enough compromise, or I don't know, maybe somewhere between a 5 and a 6, because on one hand it is low quality, but on the other hand, it's entertaining enough. Um, so, I don't know, somewhere in the middle. I mean, I can't say it's good enough to get a 7, but yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. For me, at least. Any disagreements, feel free to voice them. But anyway, I mean, uh, Brandon Tenold, however you pronounce his name, he doesn't recommend the movie. I probably would if you are into weird stuff, if you're into Chinese, folklore, if you're into, martial arts, Bruce Lee. Maybe not Bruce Lee, actually. Like, yeah, it's probably not the best take on Bruce Lee, but still, it's fun. Like, take everything I said and put it into consideration, whether you want to see this movie or not. Um, yeah, that's kind of how I tend to operate. Like, just you know, listen to what I say about it and decide for yourself if it's for you. Um, but yeah, if nothing else, this was an interesting movie, and yeah, I guess feel free to check it out if you're interested. So, yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that for now. If there's anything else I feel I need to add, I'll put it in the comments. And that's about it. Mash it and smash it, signing off.